Hello, Claire. Welcome to another lesson in biology. Today, we'll be looking at the male reproductive system in humans. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the structure and function of the male reproductive system. So we have our key terms: testicle, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, ejaculatory duct, prostate gland, urethra, and penis. So to begin with, we've looked at reproduction as a life process in our life process video. Do well to check it out. Reproduction is considered to be the life process by which living organisms give rise to young ones of their own kind. Humans, like other mammals, undergo sexual reproduction, which involves the fusion of the male and female gametes. When we talk about the male and female gametes, we are looking at the sperm cell for the males and the egg cell for the female. Now, this is the structure of the male reproductive system. We'll be looking at the male reproductive system from the point where the sex cells, which are the sperms, are produced, right up until ejaculation occurs, where there is the release of the sperm cells from the male reproductive system. Let's take a look at these structures. So the very first from the bottom, we have the scrotum. It's also referred to as the scrotal sac. So this is a sac, and like any other sac, it's used to contain or hold or house the testes in this instance. The testes is referring to these two balls. So it is found in the scrotum. Moving on, we'll look at the testis. The testis is singular with an I, and for plural, we have testes or testicles. So if you see testicle is referring to one and testicles two. These are a pair of organs located at the scrotum of the male. I've already mentioned the scrotum. They have an oval shape, an oval structure, and they have a role to play in the production of the sex cells and also the secretion of the male hormone, which is testosterone. So when we take a look inside the testis, one testicle, so this is when you cut open the testicle, this is what you expect to see. There are different lobes in the testis, which mostly they are, this is one. When you take the lobe, this is one. So from this end to that end is one. This is also another lobe in that order. So in this image, you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lobes in this image. Within the lobes, you have tubes which are coiled around a convoluted manner. They are referred to as convoluted tubes. These specific tube names are the seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules are found inside the testicles, and the role that they play is within it we have two types of cells. They are the Leydig cells and the Sertoli cells. The Leydig cells are responsible for production of testosterone, and the Sertoli cells are responsible for production of androgen binding protein. These two cells, when their products combine, that is the testosterone and the androgen binding protein, they form the sperms. So they are responsible for the production of sperms when what they produce join together. All this is happening in the seminiferous tubules. Now, this does not just occur by chance. It is done or stimulated by the pituitary gland, which is found in the brain. We'll talk more on this when we talk about the neuroendocrine system. The pituitary gland releases the hormone gonadotropins, which include luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. So luteinizing hormone stimulates the Leydig cells to produce the testosterone, and that of follicle stimulating hormones will stimulate the Sertoli cells to produce the androgen binding proteins, which collectively, when they bind to the testosterone, form the sperms. All this is happening in the testicle here. Now you notice that there's another tube which is covering the testicle up here. This next tube is referred to as the epididymis. The epididymis is connected to the rear end of the testicles. Its function is to temporarily store sperms. The sperms which have been produced by the testicle will be transported into the epididymis and stored there for subsequent release into the next tube, which is the sperm duct. It is narrow in nature and, as I said, connects the testicles to the vas deferens, which is the sperm duct. So the function is the sperms produced by the testes are stored, matured, and transported by the epididymis into the sperm duct. Something worth noting is that for all the structures that we've mentioned so far, there are a pair. So you have a pair of testicles, a pair of epididymis, a pair of sperm ducts, and so on and so forth. There's a point where these two connect, and you'll be seeing that point very soon. So the sperm duct is the next layer that we get to. Sperm duct, so as the name suggests, it's a tube through which the sperms travel. So the sperm duct is also referred to as the vas deferens or the ductus deferens. It is the passageway for sperms, so the sperms travel through it from the epididymis into the seminal vesicle. As we already mentioned, the seminal vesicle is also two in the male reproductive system. This gland is responsible for producing a particular fluid known as seminal fluid or semen. This semen is responsible for nourishing the sperms which have come in from the sperm duct. It joins the sperm duct and empties into the ejaculatory duct. Now we mentioned that the seminal vesicle empties and connects to the vas deferens, which will collectively join the ejaculatory duct. You see it clearer in this image. So you have the vas deferens coming here, joining with the seminal vesicle at this point, and merging into the ejaculatory duct. So this is a point where the pairs now become a single duct, known as the ejaculatory duct. As the name suggests, the ejaculatory duct plays a role in ejaculation. When the penis is erect, there is the contraction of the ejaculatory duct to release the semen and the sperms out of the penis. This is the role played by the ejaculatory duct. Now the ejaculatory duct, as we mentioned earlier, merges with the urethra at the prostatic urethra. Now the prostatic urethra will refer to the point where the urethra is at the prostate region. So we have the prostate gland, which is the next gland that we encounter. This gland is responsible for producing a fluid. The prostate gland, unfortunately, as the male is aging, swells up or increases in size. Now this prostate gland, as we said, is at the point where the link between the ejaculatory duct and the urethra is. So as it swells, it puts a lot of pressure on this tube, which is the urethra, leading to the inability of the individual to urinate or having difficulty in urinating as they age. That is how prostatitis usually presents. So what's the essence of the prostate gland then? The prostate gland secretions, or the fluid produced by the prostate gland, is basic in nature, and it therefore assists to neutralize the acidic pH of the vagina. When the sperms are released into the vagina, known to be acidic in nature, can denature and subsequently destroy the sperms. To avoid the destruction of the sperms in trying to reach the egg cell, this basic fluid produces the right medium through which the sperm cells can survive to reach the egg cell. So it releases the fluid, and the fluid passes through the urethra, and as it moves, there is another gland which also secretes some secretions to assist the process of reproduction. This is known as the bulbourethral gland. The bulbourethral gland is responsible for secreting a lubricant that aids in the lubrication of the penis head during erection and ejaculation. So mostly it's the glans penis which is lubricated for this purpose. By now, the semen, which is now containing the sperm with other fluids, has passed through the bulbourethral region and is in the urethra. The urethra is considered to be a urinogenital or urogenital tract. This is because it is the passageway for urine, which is why the urinary bladder is found here. It's the same place that urine will pass through in the male for release outward. And it is the same place also that sperms are going to pass through because it plays a role in urination as well as a genital role. Finally, we have the penis. The penis is made up of spongy tissues, erectile tissues, which are essential for the process of erection and ejaculation. The glans penis, we've already mentioned, is found at the end of the penis. It is usually lubricated by the bulbourethral gland during ejaculation. Now, during erection and ejaculation, blood vessels in the penis dilate. When we say dilate, it means that it increases or gets bigger in size. It increases so that a lot of blood can rush through into the penis. Now, when a lot of blood has rushed into the penis, it becomes engorged and firm. It's no more the flaccid penis that it was earlier. This engorged nature compresses on the veins, preventing blood from leaving the penis, thus resulting in the erectness of the penis. This process leads to the firmness of the penis till ejaculation has taken place. Ejaculation occurs when the ejaculatory duct contracts, releasing sperms and semen out into the penis and subsequently out of the urethra. These processes are facilitated by the nerves known as the parasympathetic and sympathetic nerves. More on that later. Now, we already mentioned the tissues which become engorged with arterial blood. This entire process of getting engorged with arterial blood is referred to as tumescence, and it may result from any of various physiological stimuli known as sexual arousal. So, to summarize, today we've looked at parts of the male reproductive system. We looked at the scrotum, which is responsible for housing the testicles. We looked at the testicles for production of the sperms. The sperms produced are stored in the epididymis. The epididymis transports the sperms through the vas deferens and it meets the seminal vesicle, which releases seminal fluid onto the sperms which have been produced. The seminal fluid, now with the sperms in it, is released into the ejaculatory duct, which meets the prostate gland also to get some secretion from the prostate gland. Moving down, the bulbourethral gland also adds its secretions. Mainly the secretions are to lubricate the penis, the glans penis. Now the secretions, mainly the semen and the sperms, are then released into the urethra. Then when erection and ejaculation occurs, allows for the release of the semen and sperms. I hope this class has been helpful for you. Please do well to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment any questions you may have in the comment section. Till we meet next time. Thank you.